What's going on, YouTube? I've been wanting to make a video, at least tangentially related to this whole draw trap hype that we have been in the midst of lately. So if you're familiar, some guy topped an event, I think with Blackwings. They're playing like 6 draw traps, and since then everyone's just been like shoving 6 draw traps in a bunch of different decks. So my broader thoughts about this, kind of a downer, honestly. I've been trying it out in a number of things, and I think it's kind of overrated. Like, I think it ceases to be as good when it's known. Obviously, when you're playing against like mediocre opponents who just shotgun the first MST heavy or whatever, then they're amazing and they feel great. But then you get up against good players and they're aware of what's going on in the meta, and people just start disrespecting the first back row that you said, and it kind of complicates things. But plus, overall, playing 6 draw traps can be quite slow. So I don't know. I'm not like fully on the hype train on this one, but if there's a deck I'm going to try it out in, it's definitely going to be this one, of course, an oldie but a fan fave, which is the Kuraz deck. This deck natively already played draw traps just because of the synergy with the whole Kuraz thing. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've played a build with 6 draw traps. I probably even played a build with 6 draw traps and 3 upstarts before, which just absolutely insane, the level of draw one going on there. But yeah, Kuraz deck, one of my old favorites. I think a deck that could probably benefit from this draw trap stuff more than anything, so we're going to be trying it out in here for today. Haven't changed the build a whole lot other than just like hollowing out and putting in more draw traps than we were originally on, because I think we were just on like 2 with Fiendish Chains or something, but I don't know, I wasn't wild about the whole Fiendish Chain thing. I could definitely see Jar of Greed just being better. So we're going to see how we can do with this build here today. We got 2 replays. Let's go ahead, let's get into it, let's take a look. First match up against some kind of plant thing, and we draw kind of mediocre hands. A lot of spell trap removal, and our opponent has no defense. At this point, we know we're getting Caiused. So actually, my first thought here was like, I milled these draw traps, so there's no way he's just going to shotgun Typhoon on my first back row, so I'll just set the Solemn and just Solemn this Caius for sure, which I feel like I have to do. I don't know. It seems so bad to let that Caius go through. Especially, it doesn't feel like he has a lot of back row, which are going to get set and need to be solemned. So I think better just like get the value out of it and then use our Heavy Storm now, which we're going to do, get the Gadgetron out of the deck. I'm definitely scared of getting low here. I gotta say, in these games, I felt like we milled Dandelion a lot off Card Trooper. It felt pretty lucky. So we Typhoon the first DDR, which is great because now they have to commit a whole lot of cards to make this Black Rose Dragon play work, and we're actually just coming out ahead anyway. So here they go for the Titanial into the Autonomous Action Unit. So they got 2 big dudes out. We're going to flip up that Jar of Greed, go into, I think, Ancient Fairy Dragon, because now we figure we can just compulse this thing back to our hand and then normal summon it on our turn and go for the W here. So that's what we're going to do, and it's going to work out. Interesting game number 1 there, for sure. Game number 2, this is fun. We get shooted, and we have no monsters. Pretty fun. I got the impression the opponent kind of oversided this game. They were really bricking on a lot of like Kaiku. What does Kaiku even do? And knock, we can just play around that till the end of time. So we swing in with the Spirit Reaper, and we actually hit the knock here. So now I'm just like, all right, I'll never normal set a monster for the rest of the game. Then we saw him Judgment the Gale. I think it's a little bit too good to let him just out our Reaper, and then we go End Phase Dust. But we're assuming these are both just like things he set to like not get Spirit Reaper ripped, obviously. So we do the same play, get the Gear Town, go for the Heavy Storm, get the Gadgetron out. Now he could top deck Dad and just like win the game, but that doesn't happen. Lucky us. Would have been pretty mad, honestly, but no, not really. But it is what it is. It's Yu-Gi-Oh. So he does not top deck Dad. Instead, he top decks Mirror Force, which does not do it unless I attacked with Reaper for some reason, which why would I do that? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Second match up against my all-time favorite deck in Edison format. Of course, I am talking about Gladiator Beasts. The good thing is I think this is a very, very, very strong matchup for the Kuraz deck. Gadgetron just like absolutely obliterates their entire day, honestly. So we go flip this up. Perplexingly, they Solemn. Remember, at this point, we still don't know what they're on. So the fact that they were able to conceal being on Glads for so long actually definitely did affect the way I played. We go for AFD. Yeah, just get the negation, and then I maybe should have used the Terraforming, I guess, just in case he draws another Thunder King, I guess. I don't know if that's something I should be playing around. At this point, I think the Solemn was like a new set, so we're figuring one of these has to still be Starlight Road, so we're holding the Storm. We eat a Bottomless here, that's fine. Now we see Glad Beast, I'm like, oh shit, no. Not this. Anything but this. Like I said, fortunately the matchup is pretty strong for us. We can just put up a lot of big guys very easily and run their stuff over, and they can't do anything about it. So he goes for Ready Ari. That's kind of fine. We already have our grave set up for debris anyway. And now we have Storm Judgment, so I think that should just probably win us the game. I guess it would have been better if we hadn't set the Torrential earlier, but I wanted to be sure that we were getting that Judgment through, and I think Torrential was the only way to stop them from maybe Gazarasing us or whatever. We go for the double Terraforming. Unfortunately, here we're in this weird spot because one of our Gadgetrons got banished. Obviously, it'd be great if we could have set both, but... well, actually, the set was a test ape, so... we didn't know that, though. We did not know that. They go in for Bestie. We attack. Fortunately, we're able to just run that over with the Karez, and they're going to concede the game right there. Not really able to do anything into our field full of big guys. Yeah, I mean, this deck just puts out fields full of big guys. I made a siding error, which kind of cost me, because I forgot to take out Tragodia. And obviously, Tragodia is just a worthless dead draw in this matchup. So he goes for Bestie, hits our thing. Okay, we're figuring at this point that's another test tape. Maybe I should have just hit into this. I mean, we would have gotten prison. It was just a no-win situation. He had everything there to stop us from whether we attack or we pitch. But I guess if we don't pitch, we save a card, which doesn't really matter since the Glad Beast matchup tempo is like all that matters for anything, I guess. So we get a Gadgetron. Okay. Do I go for a second one? Oh, I think we do. Yeah, we get really aggressive here. I felt like I had to because we were going to get Geyserist, so we take out our field, but then he does happen to have the Cyber Dragon as well, so I think we just basically lose the game on the spot to that. Well, not really, but it's really bad off. It's obviously extremely bad. We were hoping he didn't have that. So he takes out our field. We got the Brain Control here, but we don't have a whole lot of other plays going on, so we can trade there. The Snowman Eater is very lucky for us. Actually, we don't even have to tribute over, although I guess if we had, we might have been just like fine there. Here he goes for Ready Ari, and it's starting to feel like this game is pretty over unless we get a good draw, which I don't even know. Debris Dragon maybe, that would have been solid. And I do concede the game at this point because everything is just, yeah, no, it's going to shit. Maybe Mirror Force draw could have somehow done it for me, but I don't know. This game, our hand is it's okay. We get lucky and we hit the Dandelion, which I mentioned before. We got lucky at least a couple times there. The Dandelion really helps, obviously, in this situation, giving us the tribute fodder for these big dudes. We end phase Dust. We hit Book of Moon, so now it's just a matter of testing. Does he have War Chariot? We get prisoned. At this point, I'm thinking, all right, it's either Solemn Judgment and we probably lose, or it's just Road. And it turns out, I think, to be Road. So we're going to get our draw, we're going to get our Gadgetron Dragon, and we're going to set My Body as a Shield. Now we're feeling like we're probably just can't lose here. We summoned Gadgetron. Pretty greedy, actually. I could have just swung with Gadgetron past, but I wanted to get super aggressive. We go for the Caius. I do play around it being Test Tiger, but it's actually, or Test Ape. Was I saying Test Tiger earlier? I meant to say Test Ape, alright. Yeah, we were playing around it being Test Ape, but it was just Bestie. We get Trunade, Geyserist, but it's kind of not a big deal. I mean, we have Brain, Kurez, Gadgetron, or Gear Town, and My Body's a Shield, so it's kind of hard to see how we lose. We know that back row is not War Chariot, so we can make this play just very confidently, take out absolutely everything, get a draw, get our Gadgetron Dragon, and then swing for a game. It's just a Starlight Road. It doesn't do anything. So, yeah, those were the matches. I think, honestly, I might be underestimating this KFC deck. I feel like it's pretty solid, and then like all this draw trap nonsense kind of makes it better. So I don't know, if there's a deck to play all the draw traps in, I think it's definitely this one. I've tried like draw traps and some other stuff, as I mentioned. I tried it in the Dragon Queen deck, didn't really like it. I tried it in the Neospatian deck, didn't really like it. So I'm not sure how good it is to fill out your deck with a bunch of bulk draw traps. I get that Edison format's kind of really inconsistent, which is a lot of the weaknesses of a lot of decks, but at the same time, I like playing real cards, so I don't really know. It's kind of an open question to me at this point how long this is going to stick around as a theme in the meta, but maybe you think differently. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow.